Welcome to taking 100% responsibility for your life, your results, and how to stop blaming others. My name is Amila, author of The Matrix of Human Behavior and the workshop on setting intentions. Thank you so much for joining me, and today I would love to share with you what it means to take 100% responsibility for yourself, and more importantly, why that matters and how to do it. If you want to be successful in life, we have to take 100% responsibility for our life, for our results, our relationships, our health, our finances, and this isn't easy. So many of us think we are entitled, that somehow life owes us, people owe us something. The truth is, no one owes you anything. No one owes you that great job. No one owes you entry into that uni. No one owes you money or inheritance or a house or love or your ideal relationship or your ideal body. You are the one that must create this. You are the one that must make this yours. There are so many people that simply blame everyone outside of themselves for the things that they don't like in their life. The weather, it's too cold, it's too hot. The economy, I can't find a job. Our bosses, they're such a prick. They're horrible, they're mean. Our parents, they didn't raise us right. They hurt us, they abused us. They weren't there for us. They didn't provide for us properly. Our friends, they gossip too much. They don't say good things about us. They don't pull through. Even our astrological signs. And the only place that we don't blame is ourselves. The one place where the problem is created and the one place it can be changed. The truth is, if you truly want to live the life that you desire and be the person that you want to be, then you must take 100% responsibility for your life. Absolutely no excuses. So moving forward, if something doesn't turn out the way you wanted, ask yourself, what did I choose to make this mean to me? What did I or didn't I do or say or didn't say to get that result? What did I have to believe? What do I believe about this? And more importantly, what can I do different now to get the results that I do want? I'll teach you now a powerful formula here that I learned from Jack Canfield, the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And in his book, he says that E plus R equals O. So the event plus your response equals the outcome. Now, this formula says we always have two choices when something happens. We can blame the event for the lack of results, or we can choose how you respond to things, the event, which will, of course, create the outcome. Now, you can choose to decide what the event means to you. What are you making it mean? How can you change your thoughts about what you're thinking about? How you're thinking about it? What about what you're focusing on? And then you can change the decisions that you make in response to that. So often in life, we're running on autopilot with our pre-programmed ways of responding to situations, that if we truly want to get different results in life, we must be aware of and disrupt the current programming we have, the strategy we're currently employing in our lives. See, everything that we do is a strategy. We have a strategy for getting up. We have a strategy for feeling tired. We have a strategy for falling in love. We have a strategy for getting motivated. We have a strategy for how we eat. We have a strategy for absolutely everything we do in life. The problem is, most of the time, we didn't consciously create that strategy. We unconsciously created it. We got pre-programmed about it. And then our brain just consistently runs that tape, that program. The key here is, if you're at a point in your life where you're like, this is ridiculous, this is enough, I don't want this to keep happening to me, something's got to give, something has to change. You have to start with your current programming. You have to start with the current strategy that you're running on autopilot that's getting you the same results, the same relationships, the same body, the same money, the same job, the same friends. All of these things are because of a strategy that you're currently running, which is tied in with the beliefs that you currently have, the values that you currently have, and of course, the behavior and the decisions that you currently have. So, for example, say you receive your annual tax return. That's the event. You take that money and you go out on a night and you spend it on a lavish dinner and drinks or partying or drugs or whatever other recreational activity you can think of. And you blow it all on these things that add no intrinsic value to your life beyond the moment in which you consume it. So that's your response, what you do with it. And then you find that you're broke, back to where you started, with nothing, the outcome. On the other hand, you can have it turn out very differently. So you can choose to take your tax return, the event, pay off a debt, invest in your super property. Invest in super or property or other form of investment. That's a response. The outcome is your net worth increases. So what we choose to do, our response, with something that happens, the event, is what determines what happens, the outcome. So the results that you're experiencing in your life right now or so far have been 100% because of the responses you have been implementing, using, choosing to take. Take a look to see what responses you've been employing so far. And if you're willing to take credit for that, which is working out in your favor, then you must also be willing to take responsibility for that which isn't. You can't pick and choose when it suits you. And as many of us would love to be able to do that, you simply cannot. It is not a way to be successful. It is not a way to achieve a great life. And the great positive in what we're talking about here right now is that if you assume 100% responsibility, then that also means that you are 100% in charge and in control of what happens and how it happens. This means you have absolute power to turn things around, decide what they represent, and hence how you feel, and hence how you will behave moving forward, and the decisions that you will make moving forward. Insanity is defined as always doing the same thing and expecting a different result in life. And it eludes me right now who said that. It could be Albert Einstein. I could be wrong, so forgive me if I am. But essentially, if you want different results, then you must do something different. The only things in life which we have control over are our beliefs, our thoughts, and our actions. And we must alter these things if we want to produce a different result in life. If you want to be successful in life, you must also quit the habit of blame. See, the moment we blame someone or something else for our results, we abdicate responsibility. And the moment, although this can feel temporarily good and relieving, however, the moment you abdicate responsibility, you're also saying there is nothing I can do about this. And if there's nothing you can do about it, then you'll stay stuck, unable to move forward. You'll go into victim mode. And victim mode is a very disempowering place to be. It's a place where you will only invite more things to be a victim about. You will only attract more situations in your life in which you perceive yourself to have no control over. And think about a time when you felt like you didn't have control. A time when you felt like you were a victim. A time when you felt like the world was against you, plotting against you, nothing was working out in your favor. Is that a place that you want to be? Is that a place where you want to feel? Is that a place where you want to reflect on life and be, that's where I spent most of my time, in victim mode? I imagine that you don't. On the other hand, if you assume full responsibility, because in the end, it was you who had the thoughts, it's you who has the beliefs, who has the feelings, who makes the decisions, engages in the behavior that leads to your reality or experience of your current life outcome. You're the one who said yes. You're the one who said no. You're the one who took the job. You're the one who chooses to stay in the job. You're the one who chooses to eat the junk food, who chooses not to work out, who spends money recklessly, who chooses not to save, who forgot your dream, who ignored your intuition, who chose to trust, who said yes to the extra work. In short, you are the one who had the thoughts that created the feelings that led to the choices you made to be exactly where you are right now. Now, this applies to whether the choices you made, the things you said yes and no to, the decisions to do what you do have also led to something that you do want. So if everything that we're doing leads to something that we do want, then we take 100% responsibility and say, I created this, I made this happen. Likewise, on the other side of the coin is everything that's currently happening that you don't like also is a result of the things that you thought, the decisions that you made, and the behavior that you engaged in, and what you focused on a consistent basis most of the time. I trust that you're getting value out of this. I trust that you're understanding what I'm saying. I imagine that you have a lot of thoughts and, wires and neurons bouncing off in your mind trying to answer these questions. And listen to this again. Write the questions down. Take the time to answer them. Take 20 minutes, 10 minutes to answer these questions, because it is these type of questions and the answers that your mind will produce that will get you thinking about what else is possible for you, what else you can do. And when you start thinking like that, you can then start creating a better quality life for yourself. And the moment that you do that, you will have a better quality life. Your happiness will increase, your joy will increase, your success will increase. And that is the key of what this is all about. Now, another habit that we must let go of in order to be successful is complaining. When we complain about something, what we're really doing is saying, there's something here that can be better. I know that this can be better. I know that there's a better version of this, but I don't have it. And so we complain about it. Now, if you're not willing to take the risk or the actions to change it or make it better, you simply just sit there and you complain. If we didn't think that something could be better or that something better was available to us, we would never complain. So the moment you complain, use that as a sign to tell you that you identify that there is something better available to you and that you can do something about it rather than just whinging about it. Now, the things we complain about are the things that we can do something about. Now, you can make more money. You can save more money. You can eat better foods. You can exercise every day. You can leave that toxic relationship. You can say no more. You can get a better job. You can live in a better place. Now, why don't we just do it then? You might be wondering. I know I was wondering when I first learned this. And it's because all of these things require you to change. And this is what most people want to avoid at all cost, changing themselves. Because when we change ourselves, we perceive ourselves to be moving out of what we also perceive to be our comfort zone. And I'll talk about this towards the end of this short audio. However, all change involves risk. We start thinking, what if we get rejected? What if I lose what I already have? What if I fail? What if I find out I was wrong all along? All these fears pose a risk that we're not willing to take. And so instead, we just complain about it. Even here, though, you have a choice. You can admit that you're accepting your current circumstances and that you take responsibility for the way things are and then stop complaining about it. Or you can choose to do something different and take the risk needed to get what you want. Ultimately, it's up to you to make things better, to create the life that you want, and to feel how you want to feel. The world owes you nothing. And the quicker you realize this, the sooner you can get to doing what it takes to create the life you desire and to be the person that you want to be. Everything that happens in our life is a result of us either creating it or allowing it to happen. The things we tolerate is what we allow. These tolerations are a reflection of our standards and what we're willing to put up with. An example of what we create is sleeping in constantly, eating foods that have low nutritional value and really high in calories, sitting all day and watching TV or at our desks, drinking heavily, watching too much TV, going to bed, and then repeating the whole thing over again until one day we realize we're depressed, we're overweight, and we're sick. You created this. It didn't happen to you. It isn't genes or family history. It isn't your work. It isn't your lack of time. It's the decisions that you made on a consistent basis that led to this outcome. See, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. More successful, wealthier, happier, healthier people don't have more time than you. They just use it better than you do. And they make better choices that lead to better outcomes. Now, this can be a really hard pill to swallow for some of us. But I imagine that if you're still listening to me, that you're the type of person who's ready to face the music and disrupt the current ways of thinking, doing, and being. You are not a victim in your life. You either allowed it to happen or you created it. It can be uncomfortable to say, I don't accept this, to leave, to demand more of yourself and others, to follow through on what you say, to get up earlier, to work out, to say no to junk food. All things we do the first few times are uncomfortable simply because we haven't established the neural pathways in our brains that make the action easy for us. And the only way we can move beyond our perceived discomfort is to act, and to act consistently. You must say, it's uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway, because not doing it is more uncomfortable. Decide that not doing this thing is going to be more uncomfortable for you than if you do it. I remember years ago, I went on a meditation retreat and the monks asked me, we were talking about something, a challenge that I was going through at the time. And he said to me, when did you decide that this was your comfort zone? I was so speechless. I had nothing to say. I had no answer, which meant no one had ever asked me such a profound question. I'd never had to find an answer to this. And so my mind stopped because it didn't know where to look. It didn't know where to find the answer to this question because I didn't know when I decided that my current comfort zone was my current comfort zone. So ask yourself, when did you decide that what you're doing now is within or without your comfort zone? What if you decided that your current comfort zone is actually a discomfort zone and that your current discomfort zone is actually your comfort zone? What would be different? What would you think differently? What would you feel differently? What would you do differently? I imagine a huge shift would occur. So take a moment now to complete an activity. Write down what your comfort zone is. So my current comfort zone is, and write down a few sentences. It could be, hanging out in my PJs as soon as I get home. It could be sleeping in until I absolutely have to get up in the morning. It could be binging on hours of, your favorite TV show, Netflix, whatever it is. It could be playing video games for hours. Whatever your current comfort zone is, write it down. And once you've done that, what is your current discomfort zone? Now that could be, waking up an hour earlier than I have to and working out. It could be choosing to have a fresh pressed juice instead of your cereal or whatever muffiny, croissant-y breakfast you might have. It might be speaking up, bringing new ideas to the table, telling my partner that I don't like when he talks to me this way. It could be, approaching a friend and saying, I really wish you wouldn't do X, or I really wish you would do more of Y. It could be approaching your boss and saying, I would really like another opportunity to do X. It could be putting up your hand 10 times to do something and getting rejected for it 10 times before you finally get a yes. That's a very common discomfort zone. So write down what you perceive your current discomfort zone to be. Put this on pause and come back to me once you've done that. Go on, put me on pause. I'll see you soon. Now, I hope that you've done that. And if you've been listening to this while driving or you can't do it, at least have thought about it, and do it when you can. Now, reaffirm, I am deciding now that my current comfort zone is my discomfort zone. So you can go up and cross off the dis in the discomfort zone and add the dis in your perceived current comfort zone. So you're essentially going to swap them around. The title. Now read it again. See, feel, and hear it being different. Instruct your subconscious mind that now this is your new comfort zone and that this is your new discomfort zone, and go out and behave in a way that reflects this. Your results speak for themselves. Look at the results now and ask yourself, what am I doing, thinking, and feeling now that has led to this result? What needs to change? What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? Only you can give yourself the honest answer to these questions, and only you can make the decisions and follow up in response to them to get the results that you want. The question is, will you? Anthony Robbins says, when you blame others, you give up your power to change. And I agree entirely. Do you agree? Thank you so much for your time. And I trust that you've gotten value out of this and that you now understand what it means to take 100% responsibility, why it matters, and how to do it. Thank you and goodbye.